It was almost 5 years ago when Ducati unveiled the Desert X concept at EICMA in Milan. And I was lucky to be there when that happened. And to be honest, I was truly stunned with the overall design language of the motorcycle. And when Ducati unveiled the production version of the Desert X concept, it was called the Desert X, it felt so good to see that majority of the design cues were taken from the concept version and carried forward to the production model. And you must be wondering why I am talking about the styling so much, because I truly believe the Ducati Desert X is one of the best looking adventure motorcycles ever made. Now we are in 2024 and I have tested this motorcycle extensively over almost 1 week. I have commuted to office, I have taken this motorcycle on the highways, and I've also ridden the motorcycle in various off-road conditions. I'm talking about dirt roads, sand, broken road and couple of more things. And I have done this for almost a week. So in this entire week, I have uncovered a lot of details about this Ducati, which we will be revealing in this video. But before we proceed, don't forget to like and share this video and also subscribe to BikeWale. I don't know how many of you guys will agree to this, but the Desert X has a drool-worthy design. In fact, it is one of those motorcycles that will leave you awestruck every time you look at it, especially in this white and red paint scheme. Now what Ducati has done is it has taken inspiration from the Dakar motorcycle, the Cagiva Elefante 900. The engine that was on that motorcycle was developed by Ducati.
The front profile of the Desert X is what gives this bike a unique identity. Those double round headlamps surrounded by bright TRLs and a big windscreen translates to a great road presence. And then when you move towards the side, those large panels including the fuel tank makes the bike look bigger than the segment. I really enjoyed talking about the features of the Ducati bikes because there's not only a long list of it, but most of the features are class leading and some of them are really helpful when you're riding in a country like India. To begin with, the Desert X is equipped with full color TFT screen which has two themes, standard and rally. While the former shows all the ride data just like any other big adventure bike, the latter shows details that are usually seen on rally bikes during navigation. Then there are modes on the motorcycle that can change the way you ride. This includes 6 riding modes and 3 ABS levels, along with traction control system, wheelie control, and also engine braking control. The bike also gets cornering ABS, quick shifter, and also cruise control. The lights are full LED and they work really well. Unlike the Multistrada, the Desert X doesn't get any radar tech control, probably to keep the overall cost in check.
Now that we have covered some of the important bits of the Desert X, it is time to cover the most important aspect of the bike, and that is the performance. And to do that, we are going to talk about this engine. Now this engine is a 937cc twin-cylinder motor which makes about 108 bhp of peak power and 92 Newton meters of peak torque. Now this motor is also seen in some other Ducati motorcycles. Also, the gearbox is 6-speed, and I've previously mentioned the bike comes with a bi-directional quick shifter, which basically works really good on this motorcycle. I know a lot of you guys want to listen to the exhaust sound of the Ducati Desert X, so I think let's just get that out of the way. Let us know through the comments section whether you like the exhaust note of the Ducati Desert X or you don't.
With various riding modes in place, the Desert X behaves differently based on the input. But it is in the sport mode where majority of the adrenaline kicks in. The power is more than enough to put a big smile on your face. The massive torque at low revs allows you to ride easily in slow-moving Mumbai traffic. The fueling is excellent, there's no snatchy feeling at all, and while the throttle response is quite aggressive in sport mode, the other modes like City provides easy power delivery, something that is needed when riding around town. The Desert X is a full-blown adventure motorcycle, and as a result of that, I thought the motorcycle would be a bit lazy while turning, especially in the corners. But I was proven wrong within minutes, and I think it is the best handling adventure motorcycle I have ever ridden. Most of the credit goes to that beautifully crafted chassis along with that fully adjustable suspension. The road manners of the Desert X are as impressive as it gets. Even while riding in the city, the overall switching triangle allows for a commanding riding experience. With the presence of a narrow seat design, the riders can easily place their feet down in case of a traffic stop. The only thing that bothered me was the heavy clutch. Operating it constantly in the traffic conditions did bring in some pain.
The whole idea behind creating this brand called the Desert X by Ducati was, to cater a set of buyers who are extremely adventurous. I'm talking about the riders who go off-road a lot. So with the wheels, which is 21 at up front and 18 at the back, Ducati has managed to create one fantastic off-road motorcycle.
The overall weight distribution has brought in a balance that made me have a lot of fun without having any doubts about dropping the motorcycle. While the overall off-road ergos weren't too comfortable as I couldn't adjust the handlebar due to the lack of tools, I still managed to go heavy on power slides and also explore the enduro as well as the rally modes. The rally mode became my favorite because it allowed me to have more control by limiting traction on the rear wheel. Sadly, I couldn't jump any logs due to the heavy clutch.
When I usually frame the verdict of any motorcycles I tend to take some time. But with the Ducati Desert X, that wasn't the case. Purely because there are a set of requirements my dream motorcycle has to fulfill, and the Ducati Desert X meets 95% of the requirements. First, the overall design and the styling. I mean, just look at the motorcycle, it looks so gorgeous. And I think I'm just going to say it, the Desert X is the best looking adventure motorcycle in the Indian market right now. Secondly, you have that engine, you have that performance. I mean, the overall refinement level, the kind of power delivery and the tractable this motor is, you get an experience that will make you fall for this motorcycle the moment you twist that throttle. But for those people who really want to go fast all the time, well, there is a sport mode where you get all the power on that throttle. And then there is this features in the electronics this motorcycles come with, and it gets top spec electronics. And I think like all other motorcycles, you have the wheelie control, you have the multiple traction control, ABS units, ABS levels, and then you also have something called the bi-directional quick shifter and the engine braking control. I mean, for that kind of price, you get top spec electronics with this motorcycle. Now, when you combine all these aspects, you get a motorcycle that is easier to ride in the city and also comfortable to ride on a multi-day tour on the highways. But more importantly, its off-road behavior is what made me fall for this motorcycle. I mean, this motorcycle behaves like a big dirt bike, and I think it's a very important trait for an adventure motorcycle to have in 2024. Now, you must be wondering why I said it just meets 95% of my requirements. Well, the 5% is it misses out because of the pricing. This motorcycle is 23 lakh rupees on road, which is couple of lakhs more than the nearest competitor. Now, when you look at the overall experience the Desert X provides, I mean, it really makes sense to, work a bit harder and earn a couple of more lakhs, because I think the Desert X experience justifies that price tag.